Today we're going to work with our second conic section, a circle. These are usually well liked because they're pretty easy and they're familiar. You guys did these back in geometry. So let's jump right into this. Let's look at the formula right here. We've got x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Notice you have an x squared and a y squared, where in the parabolas only one of them was squared. All right, just like with the parabolas, you see an h and you see a k. That's going to be our center. So the center is h, k. I want to point out that the h and the k values are the opposite of what they look like due to the formula. Meaning, if you see x minus 3, that's really a positive 3. Whereas if you see x minus negative 3, you're really going to see an x plus 3 squared. All right, going on. Let's look at the radius. Notice in the formula, you have an r squared. The radius is just going to be the value r. Just a reminder that the radius is the distance from the center to any point on the circle. That's what's going to make it be a circle. So, look at that there. All right, now we have to be careful because in the formula, we're always going to see the radius as something squared. So if you see a 16, right where it says r squared, we know that we're going to have to take the square root of that, because r squared equals 16, to find the radius is actually 4. Let's take a look at our first example here. We want this to look like the formula, meaning we want x squared and y squared to be on the same side. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to add 2y squared to both sides, and then I'm going to get 2x squared plus 2y squared minus 36 is equal to 0. And then I want to get the 36 to the other side, so I'm going to have to add that to both sides. 2x squared plus 2y squared is equal to 36. Now, if you look back at the formula, look up in your notes, you'll notice that there should not be a number in front of the x or the y squared. So I'm going to have to go through and divide everything by 2. Leaving me with my formula of x squared plus y squared is equal to 18. All right, notice the center is going to be whatever is added or subtracted to my x and my y value. There is nothing there. My center is at 0, 0. So I'm going to put a center point right here. Next, I'm going to look at the radius. Remember that this point right here, or this value right here, is really r squared. So r squared is equal to 18. In order to solve for that, we need to square root both sides. So r is actually, we can reduce it to 3 radical 2. That's not very helpful. So if you plug that in your calculator and hit those double arrows, you will get that it's 4.2. So count over 4 and then a little bit more, 0.2 in each direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, a little bit there. I'm going to go up 4.2. And down 4.2. I'm putting these little marks so you can actually see what I'm doing. Now, just do your best to actually draw a circle. I do not expect these to be perfect. As you will see, mine's not going to be perfect. Okay, let's go on and try another example here. If you notice, this one, we've got the x squared plus the y squared on the left by itself already, but notice that we have some values with our x and y. So this time our center is going to be at 2, 4. Notice it's not negative 2, negative 4. It's positive 2, positive 4. So count over 2 and up 4 and put your center right there. Next we need the radius. That 9 is really r squared. R squared is equal to 9. Square root both sides to get r by itself. R is equal to 3. Now, you're going to count up 3 and down 3. And these are all the distances from the center. And to the left 3. Now, maybe you are thinking right now, why over here did she not put plus or minus 3? Because I've always said make sure you do plus or minus 3. Well, remember, radius is a distance. We cannot have a negative distance, so that's why I did not put plus or minus. Do your best to draw a circle. It's okay if it looks like an egg, and you are done.